Hey guys, my name's Vince and welcome to my channel, Vince Cooper Games. So in today's video, we're going to continue looking at Bloody Lane, and we're going to be looking at cohesion checks, which is the core mechanic of the game. So every Union and every Confederate counter has a cohesion value. The first Delaware has a cohesion value of 2. The second North Carolina has a cohesion value of 5. And this can go up or go down during the game. It can never exceed its maximum value. For example, you could have the North Carolina could drop down to 5. The first Delaware could drop down to 1. If at any time the cohesion of a Union counter drops to 0, it's destroyed and removed from the game. If the cohesion value of a Confederate counter drops to 0, it is shattered. And this is a very dangerous situation because if a Union counter advances into a defensive position occupied by a shattered Confederate counter, that's the end of the game. So Bloody Lane has been captured. So let's go through some example cohesion checks. Let's start off first of all. Let's just assume a very simple cohesion check. Second North Carolina has a cohesion of 5, so we're going to roll 1d6. If the result is a 5 or lower, the cohesion check succeeds. So the result is a 3, which is less than 5, so that would have been a success. For the Union, similarly, first Delaware has a cohesion value of 2, so we want 2 or less on d6. That's a 3, so that's also a failure. So that's the basic mechanic. Let's take a look at some different examples now. Let's say the North Carolina is going to use the fire action against the first Delaware. We apply a range modifier, which for the Confederates is -1, which brings the cohesion down from 5 to 4. So we want a 4 or less on d6. So that's a 1, that would be a hit, and the cohesion of the first Delaware would drop from 2 to 1. Let's take the same example, but this time from the point of view of the Union. So the first Delaware has a cohesion of 2, -2 range modifier gives it 0, so it can't take the action. Okay. If the second North Carolina was exposed, this would grant a +1 bonus to the Union. So you've got 2, -2 for range, +1 because it's exposed, so we need a 1 on d6, and the volley action fails. Let's take another example here. Let's say that during the course of the game, the cohesion of the second North Carolina has dropped to 3. The exposed token gives a +1 bonus to the Confederate counter, so it goes from 3 to 4. There's also a -1 penalty, so it goes back down to 3, and a result of 5 indicates a failure. And let's take another example. Let's say the cohesion here is at 1. Whenever a Union counter drops down to a cohesion of 1, it automatically selects the crouch and reform action, and the crouch token imposes a -1 cohesion penalty on the attacking Confederate counter. So we've got a current cohesion of 3. It's modified by +1 for the exposed token, that's 4. -1 for the range brings it back down to 3. And another -1 penalty for the crouch token brings it down to 2. So we need a 2 or less on d6. And it's a 4, so that's a miss. And that's it. That's the core mechanic. You check the current cohesion, apply any modifiers, roll 1d6. If the result is equal or less than the cohesion, the action succeeds. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next video.